Yeah. Anton wasn't going to do nothing. Let's be clear. All of that, let's go outside. You know what Anton was going to do? Because he had his phone in his hand. He already dialed 9. He was just waiting to dial the 1-1. If they went outside, Anton would have dialed 911. Let's stop playing.
I know some of y'all were wondering where Tariq Nasheed was on this. I was confused too, but apparently he's over on Rumble right now. Go check him out. Without further ado, Tariq goes in on the Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels debacle. Let's hear what he had to say.
So, family, many of you probably have seen the altercation between Anton Daniels, who's a YouTuber, and comedian Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb, that's my guy. Very interesting altercation they had. It looked like they were almost going to go to blows. It was very interesting, yelling back and forth. Now let's do a poll with the family. Let's do a poll. Now I'm assuming most of you have seen the altercation. That's on the 5150 show on YouTube. Who do you side with? Who do you think was in the wrong in that altercation?
Who do you think was in the wrong,
What's up,
yo?
Dr. Nirvana? Who do you think was in the wrong? All right. Who was in the wrong in that situation? All right. Let's see. Somebody said Corey. All right. A lot of people saying Anton. Anton. Okay. 'Cause I see some people saying, well, Corey got punked. Corey did not get punked. This is my assessment of it. Anton went in there, and Anton went in there kind of sarcastic and snarky and trying to provoke a little bit. And
For damn sure.
allegedly, Anton had security there, some security. And he was in there talking a little slick, and then Core was kind of calling him out for, Anton is a performative white tea ass kissing. That's what it is. Anton is a performative.
Hold up. Tariq led off with what Anton and everybody in the comments is saying was so offensive. You know, the term ass kissing, it's not about literally kissing ass. But when you tell somebody the S, the D of the black community, well, I guess you could say that's not real, but it's just the optics of it. And especially with somebody like Corey Holcomb, who has the stances he has on challenging his masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to know that those aren't the same. They're not. You could say you kissing somebody's ass on TV in the 80s. You understand what I'm saying? On the 90s for sure. That's the difference. You couldn't say the other one on TV, could you?
Does that performative white tea ass kissing. He does that. He panders to that crowd. And I don't even knock the hustle. Core was kind of calling him out for, Anton is a performative white tea ass kissing. That's what it is. Anton is a performative. He does that performative white tea ass kissing. He does that. He panders to that crowd. And I don't even knock the hustle, by the way. I don't knock the hustle. Anton panders to the white tea supremacist alt-right crowd, being the so-called reasonable black person. Oh, I'm not like the rest. Ain't no racism. The white people ain't bad. We don't need reparations. He's on that. Anton has explicitly said we shouldn't get reparations, and he's actively against it. Oh, he's went out of his way to say we shouldn't get reparations. And a lot of it is performative. Many people say he's the tether. Nobody knows exactly where his background is. I know he carries himself like a tether.
Now, I will say he said the other day that he confirmed that his father's people are from South Carolina, but he didn't say where his mother's people were from. So I can't say definitively either way. You know what I'm saying? If depends on who you ask how we're defining what a black American is or a foundational black American is.
He's He claims to be from Detroit. I know many of the people in Detroit do not rock with him. Detroit really rock with him. I think some people think he's Nigerian.
And then that's another thing. Tariq Nasheed actually has roots in Detroit too. Like, once again, another person that is in LA by way of Detroit, by way of Alabama. So you see how the cities are connected?
Detroit really rock with him. I think some people think he's Nigerian. It's not definitive. You saying he's not FBA? He said he was African. Um, you thought he was Nigerian. Yeah, nobody can give any definitive answer on where his background is from. I know he said some of that. Well, black immigrants come over and do so much better than black people here. So I've heard him say that, and usually tethers say that.
I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve. Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to fuck up my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these motherfuckers nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing.
Oh, come on, man.
For breathing this good old air that we working so hard and paying our tax dollars for in order to be able to make sure that you got this good old air and this good old water.
Well, I mean, I think that's clear. That kind of runs in line with his conservative politics, but I don't agree with it, obviously, you know. And he's right. It sounds like somebody who might not be entitled to it would have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure.
You understand? All right, you said you're in Detroit and he's FBA. Yeah. He what, Lexi? Okay. But he's okay. All right. His mother's Jamaican. Okay, I don't know. It's up in the air. No, I don't know about that. I don't know about his mother's Jamaican, Panamanian. I've never heard him say he's Nigerian. So I don't know. But, you know, he could be a tether. He talks like a tether, acts like a tether. But, you know, he does that performative, you know, white tea ass kissing thing. All right, that's your hustle, that's your bag. But all of that being from being from Detroit, he's probably in the suburbs of Detroit somewhere, but he's not a Detroit cat. The Detroit don't really rock with him. Detroit don't really rock with that dude. You know? He said he's Haitian. I've never heard him say that. And, you know, a lot of his stuff, he tries to say the criticism of him is because he's a conservative. He said he's Nigerian. Okay, I haven't heard that. So again, there's a lot of mystery, Southfield. There's a lot of mystery. What's up, T? On his background. So anyway, during the confrontation, you know, him and Corey were going back and forth. You know, he was pushing back on Corey. Corey was pushing back, and Corey was like, hey, you kissing, you know, you got all this criticism for black people. You don't never say anything about white people. And Anton said, you suck black people's D. And Corey was like, hey, hold on now. Hey, wait a minute now. You talking like that.
And that's the weirdest thing to say in that moment. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the turn of phrase, I get it. It's the brinksmanship. It's the one-upness that he wants to do. He wants to go to the next level, but that sentence doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you ask the D of the black community? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not even something people say. right? That don't sound right. For some reason, it just rings wrong in my ear linguistically.
You talking like that, you know, we might have to go somewhere with this thing. So Darlene was there. That's my homegirl. Darlene was there. So he's like, Corey's like, Darlene, move out the way. So we sat right in front of Anton. It was like, hey, man, say all that sucking D stuff again. Say that again, man. It's going to be up. And
Pretty much.
you know, Anton was like, yeah, Corey, you ain't gonna do nothing, and I'm saying this to your face. And then Anton, later on in the broadcast, Anton was like, yeah, we can go outside. And Corey's like, no, we're gonna sit here and, you know, chop it up or whatever. And he never said it again. He never said it again.
And that's a fact. That never came out again. That was a clear and distinct line. And a lot of people want to try to say it's, oh, that's childish. That's like knock the stick off my shoulder or something. But you have to look at the body language that was happening in that moment. And you have to look at the fact that Corey had a line and he was like, if you cross this line, it's up. He's like, I'm not going to put hands on you until that moment happens, right? So he goes there, but let me get face to face with you and ask you one more time if you really mean that. And when he had the opportunity, because if you bout that life, you going to say it again. Say it again. Like, I don't give a... Or you have another option. You could swing and take off. Now, I know Anton's talked about, you know, I know how the YouTube rules are. We should do things off camera, right? It's cool. It's convenient. What Corey could have done is said, turn the cameras off. Because the cameras did go off at one point. Cut the cameras off and, you know, do what they're going to do. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's why Corey at that point says, when Anton says, don't try to act like you bossing up on me, Corey says, I already did. So Corey is satisfied at that moment, doesn't need to escalate to the next thing and the next thing.
When Corey was in his face, he didn't say it again. Now, there was a lot of back and forth going on there. It didn't go to blows. It almost went to going to blows.
Right.
Anton kept saying something to the effect of, yeah, I said something to your face. So, because that's what Anton wanted to do. He wanted to be able to go back to his platform and say, yeah, I went on Corey's show and I said whoop, whoop, whoop to his face and nothing happened. So he wanted to kind of sell those whoop tickets.
It's a brilliant plan, but, you know.
Some people are like, well, Corey backed down because Anton got up and said, hey, we can go outside. Let's be very clear. Anton wasn't going to do nothing. Let's be clear. Anton wasn't going to do nothing. I saw a video of Anton, I think he made it today, talking about how he would have beat Corey up and all that. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Yeah, he had security with him. There's a couple of things that he said on the broadcast that let me know Anton wasn't about to swing or do nothing. When he was
right, because like I said, there was equal opportunity there. Anton was animated and also offended. So if you all are saying kiss the ass of white men is as bad as Esther D of the black community, you're mad too. You have an opportunity to swing. You have an opportunity to take the first shot. You could take off. You could take flight. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. That's all I'm pointing out to y'all. Y'all automatically going to say, oh, Faucette Media's in the bag for Corey Holcomb. I'm cool with Corey Holcomb. I'm also cool with Anton. That's what y'all don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I'm reading this just how the situation is. You know, like, there's a lot of things in play right now. There's a lot of things in play right here. But it seems like Tariq actually agrees with me. And Tariq is known to take off on somebody. He's dealing with a couple cases now for doing the exact same thing. For slapping people. For saying, what does the five fingers say to the face?
Was on there talking about, yeah, I play chess. Yeah, I'm playing chess. You know, I can make you do what I want you to do. You know, he was saying little stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, he was basically admitting that he was in there to do some provocations. Also, another thing he said when they were talking about jail, Anton said, I ain't been to jail. I'm never going to jail. I would never do anything that would put me in jail. I don't hang around niggas who've been to jail and all of
Right.
that. And that was a very interesting thing to say. That was interesting. That right
Fighting
there
in the
let you know he
backyard.
wasn't about to do, Anton wasn't about to swing or do nothing.
Right. Fighting in the backyard can get you in
Anton
jail.
wasn't going to do nothing. Right there. He's letting you know, yeah, you get into a physical fight, yeah, there's a possibility you go to jail.
You go to jail.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't want to go to jail, but some people, like, we're not scared of jail. But when people say they're never going to jail, that means a lot of these cats, and you don't want to go to jail, by the way, but you're scared of jail. You're scared of it because you wouldn't really survive in there because white men can't protect you. You understand? The Sambo class, they rely on white male protection. You understand that? They rely on white male protection. And Corey, I'm glad he didn't swing on. He was about to. I think if Anton had said that little slick shit again about sucking this and sucking that, Corey would have just swung on him and said, hey, man, I'm just going to have to deal with the consequences. But let's be very clear. When Anton got up talking about let's go outside, for cats like him, that's a stalling tactic. That's a stalling tactic. It's up, it's just going to be up right there. All that, hey, let's go over here. Let's go over there. Let me take my shoes off. Hold on, let me get my coat off. When dudes do all of that stalling.
And he turned his whole back to Corey. What if Corey picked up that chair? What if he picked up that chair and just threw it at you? Like, that's what I'm saying. You never turn your back on a man like that and let's go outside and shoot one. Nah, you got
Yeah. Anton wasn't going to do nothing. Let's be clear. All of that, let's go outside. You know what Anton was going to do? Because he had his phone in his hand. He already dialed 9. He was just waiting to dial the 11. If they went outside, Anton would have dialed 911. Let's stop playing.
That's
You
funny.
say I'm being biased? Well, no, I know Corey and those dudes. Those are my guys. I know them. Those are my guys. All right, those are my niggas. Yeah. So I know what to get down. And Craig, that's another thing. If something went down, they went outside and some fisticuffs started happening and Anton's security tried to jump in, Craig was up there, man. It would have been up. It would have been all the way the hell up, dude. For real, for real. Yeah?
I mean, he missed Anton probably by a couple minutes. Craig was on the show right after that. Corey was, had started talking about the situation. And then here come Craig. I told my boy in Houston, I texted him, I said, watch Craig spawn up over there. He about to spawn into the Coin Academy. Sure enough, he did.
Yeah, Craig pulled up a little bit later on in it. But yeah, if it was something where it was all of these people throwing down and these security guards jumping in and, man, please. But let's be very clear. Anton wasn't going to do nothing.
Yeah, because let's think about this. Let's think about the moment of squaring up with somebody, but you got your armed security right there with you, right? Now, you have this somewhat sanctioned fight. Y'all agreed to go to the back, to the parking lot, and handle this like men. If you start getting your ass beat and you have a security guard there, what is he supposed to do? A bodyguard there. You got a bodyguard there who's supposed to guard your body. What are you supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? He's literally probably not going to get paid if he doesn't intervene. If Corey starts getting the best of you. But there's some other factors that I could tell Anton wasn't situationally aware of for why Corey Holcomb was trying to remain calm in that situation. And a lot of people who, and this is why I think this was a dangerous situation to let it go that way, to let the disrespect get this out of control, and to start doing a fade. Because Corey Holcomb is a man of a certain age. And he stated on many occasions, you know, at this age, I don't really like fighting. Those of us who know what that means, right? So, and that's where I really take this seriously, because, like, it only takes a second, man. It only takes a second, man. I've seen people snap and, like, their whole life has changed. You understand what I'm saying, man? So that's why I'm glad this is the outcome of it. And we're just doing a little saber rattling now. We're not really out here talking, but people in an instant, and I would never wish nothing on Anton, man. Like I said, I rock with Anton. You know, like, this outside of this incident here. You know, I really don't like how he displayed himself at this moment, especially being a guest in somebody else's space. But I don't want to see nothing happen to Anton. Like, you know, that's all.
He wasn't gonna do nothing at all. We know his type. I know these types, dude. I deal with these dudes. I done been to court with them. Those types, these little shit talking dudes. And listen, Corey had already had a situation up there where hands were thrown, people up there running their mouth saying slick
Elbows.
stuff. Hands got thrown, and then they ran and sued.
Yeah.
You understand? So Corey has already had a situation like that. So I understand where
Spears.
Corey was coming from, trying to have restraint, because you saw what dude was trying to do. Anton was trying to provoke so that hands can get put on him. You talk tough. The minute people put hands on you, all of a sudden you turn into full bitch mode. You talk all of that gangster shit. Dude, I see it. I done dealt with these type of dudes, man. I done dealt with them. I'm telling you firsthand. I done been up in court with dudes snitching. These dudes turn to straight bitches. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know what my get down is. I pulls up. And then these niggas start bitching up. Bucci, all these dudes. I ran up on Bucci's fat ass. He twerked his fat ass over a fence and ran. That nigga started clapping his ass like Megan Thee Stallion when I ran up on his fat ass. That nigga started performing wet ass pussy when I ran up on his big jolly ass. You know, and we know Ugly Turtle. When I slapped the fez off this nigga's head, that nigga, he went to court. He filed a suit. All up in court, snitching like a motherfucker, talking about how I beat up on him. Yeah? Ugly Turtle. All up in court talking about, oh yeah, talk all that tough shit on the internet. That nigga was all up in court. He beat me, he hit me in my head, kicked me in my pussy, That nigga up in court like Cassie. You understand? I done had niggas up in court talking about how I done whooped on them after they done talked all that shit. You know? Anyway. Talk all that shit and then get whooped on, and then all of a sudden you up in court. You know?
Anyway, yo. See, Tariq is funny, man. Tariq is hilarious, but he's clear on how he sees this altercation, this incident, man. All y'all out there that I mean, to the tune of, I got 11,000 comments on the first video I did on this subject. Like, a lot of y'all out there really don't understand how these things work, and I'm just gonna maintain that, because I mean, y'all playing internet games. Y'all think something's supposed to go one way, and if it doesn't go exactly how it's planned, then somehow I'm in the bag for Corey, and everybody that sees this is in the bag for Corey. But I'm telling you, y'all need to reevaluate how you see things. If you are thinking that anybody that is in opposition to what you think is biased, you know what I'm saying? That's the word I kept seeing. Biased. They keep saying biased. I'm not biased, man. That was funny. Let me go support Tariq on Rumble. I don't know what's going on with his live stream over here, but check him out. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.